Another Fowler family fight breaks out even when Eden does the right thing. Dana loses out on the job to a newcomer Joe. Roo is back and taking in another child in need. Will it be different this time? And Remi turns to the party powder to meet his deadlines.
Hi, I'm Sergeant David Langham.
Oh, yeah, I heard there was a new sheriff in town. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
And who do we have here?
This is Cohen. Cohen, this is your new foster carer, Roo Stewart.
Hi, Cohen. Just call me Roo, okay? Now, come on in. Make yourself at home.
We are Si and Sophie. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast, your weekly episode companion podcast for your favourite Aussie soap.
Were you deeply committed to grade 6 breakdancing, Soph? I can see it.
You've never seen me move, have you? Or actually know the answer to that question. I do not have the moves, as the kids would say. No. Are you?
Moves like Jagger, no?
No, moves like,
No.
I don't know, a sloth. Yeah. How about you?
Definitely not a breakdancer.
No?
I don't think I'm not street enough.
No, I'm not cool enough.
No.
I've got 2 left feet. I dance like my dad, so...
Yeah. I mean, I draw the line at the Macarena. You know what I mean? That's the kind of level I'm on. You know?
Saturday night dance. I could do a bit of Wigfield back in the day. Back in the day when I was young.
Cha-cha slide. Yeah, all those.
What's the one where you sat down? I quite like that one.
Oops Upside Your Head, is it?
I think so. Yeah, the one where you just sat down and you look like you're in a rowing boat. That one was good.
You don't have to stand up. I love this one.
Anything where you can sit down, I'm a fan, generally.
How are you? You okay?
I'm all right. How are you doing?
Oh, not too bad, thank you. How's home and away been for you this week?
Home and away has reflected my life at work this week with the Remi stress. I've been so stressed at work this week, and then I've been putting home and away on for like light relief, comedy relief, and it's just been Remi stressed and looking at bags of Coke, and I'm like, I get it, dude. I get it.
People walking in on a laptop through the window.
Oh dear. So no, I felt a bit stressed watching Homers this week. I'll be honest with that kind of backdrop. But there were some bits that were good. I enjoyed obviously the new storyline that's kicking off for Roo. It's been enjoyable. So yeah.
Bloody hell.
I know, right? Who'd have thought it?
Not too bad. I felt like I was reflecting on it, prepping for today, and I was thinking not really a lot's going on, really.
No.
Which is handy in one respect, but also I was a bit like, I didn't come out of the week going, oh, next week. So it was a couple of slow burners starting. I'm going to say the Remi stuff has probably saved the music stuff, really, because you know I'm not into it. It was an absolute chore watching her decide to do a duet, no album.
Yeah. You know when I said last week that the introduction of Avalon had made this storyline slightly more palatable for me, and I was enjoying it more. Yeah, that with hindsight, yeah, I wish we'd go back to the arguing, and I didn't actually like the fact that they'd sort of clubbed up together this week. It did annoy me, that whole to and fro. I realised the plot was to get Remi to the point where he's on the brink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was almost getting me to the point of calling Avalon Steeler this week as well. So I was like, I can't deal with this. It's too much. I need a break from these two. So
yeah. I think they needed it to be the Remi stuff just to sort of keep me interested. Because I was a bit like, I don't care whether he finishes, doesn't finish, launches, not launches this record. Do you know what I mean?
Launches it into the sea for all I care.
Yeah. So I was a bit like, God's sake. So yeah, and once again, band manager Justin's last to know everything. So,
but thinks he knows everything.
But thinks he's the best manager. Yeah. I think that's probably our approach to podcasting, really.
Ignorance Princess Bliss style.
Absolutely. We'll get onto it.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of things to mention before we go. There's lots of stuff you can vote for about Home and Away at the moment. The UK, it's the Inside Soap Awards, is it? Is it the Inside Soap Awards? I'm double
now
checking
you've made
myself
me
now.
think. I'm not sure. I thought it was.
It's the radio. It's the Inside. Whatever.
Soap. Yeah.
There's an award for best daytime, what have yous. Go and vote if you're in the UK. Always the underdog. We have picked it up in the past.
Yeah.
It's not unusual. And obviously we're sort of the last man standing, so really there's no excuse. Everyone pull behind, get your votes in. Then if you're in Oz and you're an Australian listener, obviously it's the Logies. You've got Hayley Pinto up for newcomer, and you've got Lynn, who we know is bowing out this year. She's putting her feet up, Dal, and getting another job. But she's up for silver and gold, whatever that means. It means it sounds good. So, and they've lots of promo on the old Home and Away stuff. I've noticed Ada Nicodemu today doing rhymes in between takes. What was it? Linny is the flipping Winnie. Something
like that. Yeah.
It's like, oh, tragic. But go vote. And you can also, as I mentioned, Lynn is bowing out this year, and obviously we're yet to get to that point on the storyline, but we do know it's coming. There is a sort of social media, what would we call it, like a message book? An online.
There's like an online farewell message board thing, isn't there, going on?
So you found it, didn't you?
Yeah, the Home and Away account. I think it was the Instagram account, and I think the Facebook account has shared it as well. They've been sharing a link to this. It's like a form that you fill in. You put your details in, and you can either write a message, which I assume they're going to turn into something, or you can upload a video farewell to Lynn, to Irene. So I don't know what they're going to do with the messages, but I assume they're going to turn them into something media related to pass on or to show, or maybe share on social media. I don't know.
Yeah. Have you submitted anything, Soph?
I haven't. No. I thought you had.
No, I've been sitting on it for days. Keep seeing it in my tabs. I'm going to have a look at it this weekend.
Yeah.
I will have a look. I don't know if to do a video. I don't know if I'm feeling video ready.
I think personally a video would get more attention than writing a piece of text. So I think if anybody wants to go to the effort of putting a video on, I think that would probably get more, if it is for social media or whatever, that, a nice little video tribute will probably get put into some kind of reel or whatever.
How long do we have?
I don't know.
I'll double check that this weekend, because you know what would be good? If our listeners are thinking, let's do a video, why not send them to us and we'll send a big group video in?
Yeah, we could do that.
From the pod.
Yeah. Need to check the T's and C's on it and see when the closing date is, because I can't remember. It's been a couple of weeks since I sent it to you, isn't it? Or
Yeah. About a week. I've written it down. I'll do it this weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah. And finally, before we get into the action, we have a sister podcast where we look at behind the scenes stuff, interviews. Go check it out. Coastal News Investigates. Link in the episode description below. Right, should we talk about this week's Home and Away?
Go for it.
So Eden's got a lot to think about after her trip to the Rents at the start of the week, talking about all her daddy issues yet again. And she's avoiding the question when Cash asks her outright, isn't she? Are you going to invite him to the wedding or not? That's what this was all about, this sort of trip to find herself and her roots again, but she's still avoiding it. There's still work to do. Until then, she does a big Yui, decides to invite him, and that seems to then go down like a lead balloon. And I'm like, help me out here, Soph. Everyone has been telling her to grow up, get over it, speak to your father. It's ancient history. Even your mother's talking to him, potentially more if you read between the lines. And as soon as she says, yeah, I'm there, I'll do it, I'm ready, let's go for it, Levi says, nah. This is melodrama for melodrama's sake. You could hear my eyes rolling from Sydney.
Yes. Yeah,
What
I
about you?
mean, I didn't really get this until it moved on a bit. I didn't really, the initial reaction to this was, I don't understand what's going on. She's doing everything they've been telling her to do, and now they're still not happy. Like, what can she do to make this, make them happy, make this whole argument go away? Since Levi rocks up ages ago, a year ago, this has been, the bone of contention, the constant fights and the constant nitpicking between each other.
Yeah.
Is that, Eden's the only one in the family that's not forgiven Dad. Even Mum's forgiven him, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
for her to turn around and say, actually, do you know what? I've listened to. This is a big thing for Eden. She's listened to someone else's point of view and changed her mind. Now, how often does she do that?
That's true.
Not
very,
often.
very true. Yeah.
And yet when she announced it, she didn't get the reaction that she was expecting, and I was really confused. So I kind of understood why she was.
Yeah.
I didn't get
well,
it.
It's a reaction I don't think she or any of us watching at home expected.
No.
And it just to me, it looked like Levi was just in a mood that day and was like, today I'm not feeling it, and I want to keep control of the narrative. I felt like it was a bit like I'm the alpha, right? So for as long as you and Dad are talking again, I don't have any sort of sway on anything. Maybe I'm reading way too deep into it.
I didn't have
That's how it felt to me.
I didn't think that, I'll be honest. Now you've said that makes perfect sense, but I didn't have a grip on it when it sort of, I didn't really understand his point of view. And it wasn't until later when he said, I'm not totally against the idea, but I just think you seeing Dad for the first time on your wedding day is a bad idea. And I thought, well, if you'd said that,
yeah,
I'd have got it. If you just said, why don't you try talking to him, instead of just sending him a cold invitation in the post? Because let's face it, if you haven't spoken to someone for 10 years or however long it's meant to have been, and you suddenly get an invite to their wedding, without any kind of other dialogue or meetup or any conversation whatsoever, that feels like an empty gesture anyway, doesn't it? It doesn't feel like an olive branch. It just feels like they're doing it because they have to. So how's Dad supposed to feel about this random invitation just turning up in the post for his daughter's wedding with no conversation? So yeah, it makes sense that, but he didn't say
what he's saying is right, isn't it? Yeah. But I mean, it's not the first family to adult kids to have to navigate these things in life, these milestones in life with parents that don't speak to each other, and it won't be the last.
No.
All he needed to say was, "That's really great, and I'm really glad that you've managed to grow that much," or I'm really glad you've managed to let bygones be bygones. But I strongly recommend you meet up with him first before the wedding, just to clear the ice.
Yeah,
break the ice, and
then
at the wedding it's not so awkward.
Exactly, because what if she meets up with Dad and it goes horribly wrong, but by that point she's already sent the invitation? Do you know what I mean? So test the waters first, like she's done with Mum. She's gone and got Mum's opinion, and Mum's obviously said, yeah, it's fine, we're getting on, so if you want to invite him, it's cool.
Yeah.
So the next port of call, really sensibly, is to go to Dad. Right, I need to talk to you and see how that goes. See how that conversation goes. And then if you think you can cope with him at your wedding, then invite him.
I know.
But I just wish Levi had said that, because it took me 2 days to
rather than scream in the street.
Yeah. Although I did quite like the family screaming in the street. They are that family, aren't they, that scream in the street, and all the neighbours are watching through the net curtains. You know what I mean? Like, that's quite funny. And also I quite like the fact that Cash basically wolf whistled them to shut them all up. I thought that was quite funny as well. So although it was really annoying, and it was like, why are we having this argument, there was some comedy to this as well. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Fair dues. 6 months for the wedding, though. She's got to plan. Do we believe that? Do we believe that?
Well, it's a lot longer than we normally get. Exactly 2 weeks. So 6 months seems reasonable. I mean, I don't know how. I said this to you. I've never planned a wedding before, but I would have thought, you've picked your venue first, and then when you pick your venue, you go, and when is it available? Because you don't know it's going to be available in 6 months. It could be a year.
Unless you've got like a really special date in mind that is really precious to you, in which case you'll have booked it 2 years out.
Yeah.
So
or like if it's the venue's really special, you or the date's really special, you'd set one of those two first. But they don't seem to have a special date or a special venue in mind. They just seem to be winging it. So I was like, how can you possibly say it's in 6 months? Surely you've got to find somewhere to get married, unless they're going to do the whole beach thing. But she seems to think he wants traditional. I mean, I'm thinking like big, either a fancy church or some kind of fancy, listed building.
It does feel like it would be big with these two, doesn't it? I actually feel like 6 months is the starting block. I feel like the story will bring us forward because it's a long time in home and away. That's a long time in life, let alone home and away life.
Yes.
I think when she goes to meet Dad, and let's just spitball this storyline. I think Dad's going to be like, oh no, because he's such a good guy. You see, the Edens always painted him out to be bad. Dad's like, he's going being a missionary in Africa for months, and that's like such a good thing to do that it's really startled Eden because she thinks he's big bad evil dad, and he would never go to be a missionary in Africa. So the wedding has to be like now before he goes. That's what I think is going to happen.
I love that. I hope it's that. I'm living for this story now. Go on, yeah.
See,
get on.
Get me in that room, that writer's room.
Oh dear! Isn't that what Elijah did? Was it Elijah?
Oh damn it! Have I just rehashed an old story? Well, that's very home and away, isn't it?
Yeah, he went off to do something very noble like that. I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
What a pig. Speaking of Levi, he's really worried this week that Max, he's too single-minded. All she can think about is getting preggo, and he's confiding in Bree, which I think is interesting.
She didn't really have a choice, did she?
No, but it was interesting from a sort of audience perspective that Levi is. It reminded me that Levi doesn't really have anybody. Like emotional support or friend, or he's literally came to the Bay on an affair, took a job, and he doesn't really have mates.
No.
And this made me realise it. So he's offloading to the nearest person, isn't he? And I guess Bree has got a trustable face. However, he's too busy because he's filling that position that confused us in last week's pod. And Dana's getting a job alert, isn't she? About the post, and she's got it in the bag, she says. He loves me. How can he not love me? She's very overconfident, isn't she? And after bonding with newcomer Jo, you'll remember her. She was the damsel in the car out on the Abbey Creek Road last week. Utani, you'd think, tried to mug, rape, and pillage her by her reaction. Yeah,
it was
she
worse.
Also.
He
guess
touched
what?
her can belt.
Oh yeah. How did I forget that? Listen, she's a nurse as well. Would you believe?
Would you believe?
There's no other professions.
Wow. I mean, that's a lucky coincidence, isn't it? Newbie to the Bay, needs a job, and just so happens to be a nurse, vacancy there at the hospital.
Right the day you arrive.
I mean, it's a good job that she's not a tax collector, because I hear there's no tax collector vacancies available at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, it's a good job. or a bin lady. There's no bin lady vacancies going.
No.
Yeah.
This pizza box, you have to literally dodge the pizza boxes in a 5-kilometer wind. Yeah, look, this was quite a light episode, but I felt like there was way too much of this. We see Dana and Jo bond. Obviously, this is all at the detriment of Dana. She's gone in way overconfident. I know this, she's gone into her interview. She's relied too much on her personality, not so much on her knowledge. She's not really nailed that down, has she? She doesn't have the experience working in cardiovascular either, which is important because that's the role. In comes Jo. She's had 5 years experience on a cardiovascular ward. They have a heart-to-heart. Love that line. And she ends up bawling her eyes out about her whole story. Levi really likes her. She knows what she's talking about. She's had previous experience. Ultimately, the job goes to her, but only after an agonising couple of episodes wait, where she talks to Sonny like a bit out of turn, doesn't she?
Very, yeah.
When I took a step back, because obviously I sometimes think, oh, because I'm a massive Dana fan, am I being objective? You know what I mean? So I took a step back a bit, paused the episode, and I thought, she's not wrong what she's saying to Sonny. Like, he is a bit of a layabout,
Yes.
And he'll tell you that himself.
Yeah.
And he relies on his wit, really, and his comedy to get him through difficult situations. That happens here. She's having a go at him. She's upset. She's irate. She said something quite horrible to him, but he still cracks a joke. About grade 6, breakdancing. She was out of order, and he lets it slide because of the type of guy he is. She does apologise in the end, but are we let down by Dana this week, or do we think she was just really stressed, disappointed, embarrassed even?
She was definitely all of the above. Yeah, definitely. But I did think this was out of character for her, and I did text you because I said I was a bit shocked by, how she came across this week, especially when she was talking to Joe. I could kind of understand it when she was talking to Sonny, because, like you say, everything she said is not news to him, but the way she said it was the awful bit, wasn't it? She kind of lashed out. She's like, "Oh well, what do you know? You never had a job. You've not got any ambitions." Yeah. What she said wasn't wrong, but the way she said it was a bit awful. And I thought, in the heat of the moment, you do lash out at the people that are closest to you, don't you?
Yeah.
And you do say things that you don't mean. And so I kind of gave her the benefit of the doubt in terms of Sonny. And I thought, I can kind of see where we're going here. And I like the fact that, like her, I think she's very much like him. Like you said, he makes a joke of things and tries to not get too serious. I mean, it would have been awful if he'd thrown it back in her face and said a bunch of things in the heat of the moment as well. And then it would have escalated. That would have been awful. So you almost need one that's going mad and one that's like trying to make light of it and not make it a big thing. And I think if the roles were reversed, I think she would be doing the same, because she uses her humour, her charm. As she said, in terms of getting the job, I've used my charisma. I think that's enough. It wasn't. She should have done some prep for the interview, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, she's kind of similar to him. So I kind of understood that. But the fact that she was so rude to Joe, and she was doing that mocking voice, oh, you experienced me. I was really shocked.
Yeah, it felt a bit on the verge of nasty. Bitchy.
It was. Yeah. It didn't feel that didn't feel like Dana to me. That felt more like Harper. And that's when I said to you, I can see how these two are related now, because that felt Harperish. It felt petty. It felt just nasty. It was horrible. I didn't like seeing that side of Dana, I'll be honest.
Yeah, no. I'll admit, same. I was a bit taken aback. I've tried to rationalise it in the fact that she feels really embarrassed, especially as her rival seems to be quite nice and they get on.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that she writes this next week and apologises to all parties properly.
Yeah.
That talk with her and Sonny's like, look, yesterday you loved your job. Like, nothing's changed. I think he's really good for her.
Yes.
And these scenes, like you've just said, listening to you then tell me, like, look, they're really similar. And if they weren't, like, this could have gone a completely different way. And I think you're right.
It could have been Marley and Abigail otherwise.
Yeah. God, yeah.
Who needs that?
Not us, doll. So, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think this was, again, another example of how those two are so right for each other, even when they're showing the worst sides sometimes. And we all can do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's about having that partner that will not lambaste you for it, that will just make you see it, but in their own way, I suppose.
Yeah. You don't have to be nasty back to get your point across, do you? But some couples are that way, and it escalates into something that's not salvageable, which is awkward to watch on screen.
Yeah, definitely. So in the end, I'm not completely turned off. I'm not angry. I'm not upset, because it ended quite harmonious, and taught us a little something more about their relationship. But yeah, it was a bit touch and go for a moment from Dana. And do you know what? We all have bad days under stress,
Yes,
but it's
yeah,
how
true.
you make up afterwards.
Yeah. Yes.
That'll be interesting if that comes to fruition. Marley's still working from home. It looks good. I'll tell you what, his working from home looks better than mine.
Ditto.
I'm getting asked for bin bags while I'm trying to be on a call.
It's true. He's there like, oh, I'm just in my shed with my radio on, and I'm like, I'm on back-to-back Teams calls, and I'm stressed.
Yeah. Loading my dishwasher with my feet.
Well, you know what? I forgot to put the dishwasher on last night, so tonight I had to cook like a paella thing, and I had to use a spatula because I didn't have any like spoons or like not a spatula. What are they called? Where the things that you flip chips with. What are they called? Like a fish slice thing. I had that. With the slats in. It was not working at all.
For a paella. Yeah, heaven forbid there's no way you're taking a spoon out of the dishwasher and washing it by hand. Hell no.
Oh, no, not after the week I've had, Dal. That would have been the icing on the cake.
I just won't do it. I don't buy dishwasher soap.
Yeah,
just won't do it. Not dishwasher soap. You know
what
I mean?
You don't get a dog and wag your tail yourself or whatever.
Exactly.
The I can't remember. What
sometimes
the
if I'm unloading it and there's like a piece of rice stuck on a fork, that fork's staying in there till that rice comes off.
Ditto. Even if it takes 4 washings.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. It's not my job. I've outsourced that job to someone else.
Yes, exactly. The crusty edge on the cottage pie, that's got at least 3 days in that dishwasher, going round and round.
Until it learns its lesson, but it's not done a good job the first time. Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Marley's not got a clue. Surfing, he's not got that's the real stress of work from home, isn't it? And Lacey, lucky for him, everyone's very lucky with the jobs this week. She needs to really get a proper job. Marley at first won't give her one. Eden wouldn't either, but for different reasons. Seems like mud sticks, let's say. John's not happy about the whole thing, is he? He's on Marley's case again about the board shop being shut and all the rest of it. Marley does this thing because he looked up his lease, didn't he, his tenancy agreement, and he does this sort of I have all the power, sassy moment, and he's like, basically, rack off. I've read my lease. I don't even have to open it if I don't want to, as long as I'm paying rent. And I thought, what a way to do business. You're losing me, Marley. You're losing me, you little peachy butt. Now,
don't. I need to sing my mouth.
In at the deep end is an understatement because eventually John ends up talking him into giving Lacey this job, and she is way over her head, isn't she? She's just agreed to it because she's so desperate. I was thinking she couldn't swim me.
Yes.
I was thinking, what is going on? She's got to do all these lessons. He's just got to give her the job and left her to it. He doesn't give a shit about this business anymore. What's happened? His life was this business. Not a few months ago.
Why did he not even ask her if she could serve? Like,
I know.
Where was the interview?
It was less about filling the position and more about getting John off his back. She was used. And it turns out it's worse than not being able to swim. It's not being able to surf.
Kind of crucial for a surf instructor, you would think. Although I think I could teach the first lesson on the sand. I think.
I think I could
manage that.
Lie on your belly and kick your legs.
Yeah.
Pretend everyone say wee.
Pop up. Yeah. Yeah. I could do that one. Lesson 2 I might struggle with.
Yeah, I think I've managed lesson 1. Ultimately he agrees to give her a go as admin and sales on the desk. That makes sense. Because that's the bit he doesn't want to do anymore. He's lost the rhythm for it.
And let's face it, even though she's not a surfer girl, she kind of looks like one. And I think, she would attract people to that desk who want to talk to her. You know what I mean? I'm not being funny.
Yeah.
She looks like the kind of girl that you'd approach to have a little chat to. Let's put it that
we're not
way.
condoning people hiring for the looks, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, I think she has got the surfer. She could be a surfer girl. She's got the look, hasn't she? So yeah,
she's got the look.
She's got the look.
Long. Yeah. Didn't take long for a song, did it? Yeah. So remember that for Sunday. Yeah, so she's working at the shop now. Do you know, I was thinking, I was wanting to see her at the diner, me arguing with Leah.
I kind of wanted to see that for the car crash element of it, but also I also don't want her to have that much time with Leah. I think her and Theo, now they've got the actual physical distance away from Leah, they need to make the most of that, and Theo needs to carve out his own kind of path now.
Yeah.
So I was kind of glad that she didn't get the diner job, although she might end up there. You never know. So.
Well, that's true. Yeah. So she's setting roots down, and I wonder how this is going to go down with this sister she hates. Walking through the surf club every day, and the dad.
Yeah.
I wonder how this is going to go down if she's got such a public job there.
Why have all these adults got to be in the same town as each other? And I know this is a very home and away storyline, but Dad got a job in this town. I don't believe he got it randomly. I believe he did trace Lacey there and got the job. It just seems a bit too trite, without that.
Yeah, of course.
But why has Joe followed Dad to the city, or not to the city? You know what I mean? To the bay. I don't really get why she jacked her job in, because she said, I was a cardiac nurse, and it sounds like from Levi's point of view, she had a really cushy job with a really good mentor or, manager that she worked for, a doctor that she worked for in her previous job. So why has she left what sounds like a good position to come and work in the bay because her dad's got a job here? I find this a bit odd.
Yeah, that is a bit weird as an adult, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really get it, I'll be honest. I get it for the plot. I don't get it for...
Yeah, the plot explains it away as family need to reconcile, doesn't it? But it's a bit weak.
Weird. Would you do that in real life? I don't know.
Don't think you would you?
No.
Just FaceTime.
Yeah, it's only down the road.
Or get in the car, yeah.
I mean, Summer Bay too, I'm assuming she works in Sydney or somewhere, like that, so...
Yeah, it is weird. It's a very good point you raise, and I can't explain it. It's weird. I'm a bit dubious about this Joe. The hazy memory. The two sides to the story. I don't know who to believe at the minute. No. I suppose that's the point, isn't it? Really. But,
yeah, that adds to the weirdness of it all, though, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, of course it does. Right, there's a commotion with this homeless woman this week, Samantha. She won't move on when asked by the Popo. She's got a boot full of stolen phones from a warehouse in Reefton Lakes. It's not looking good. She's getting banged up, isn't she, for stealing and trying to sell these phones, amongst other things.
She's got a rap sheet, hasn't she? By the sound of it?
Yeah, and a bit down and out. It's weird, isn't it? Because your gut wants to say this is a woman trying to survive,
yes,
and do what she can, but also she's committing crimes. So, the police, the way the police look at this is there's a crime being committed, lock her up. But then when we hear the little mom from the tent, it suddenly becomes very human. This story,
yes.
As
she's
we
not
meet,
doing this because she wants to live like this, is she? She's doing it because she has to.
Of course, she has a kid with her in tow. Cohen. Not
colon. I genuinely had to put the subtitles on the side because I was like, are they calling him colon? Like, what's this poor kid's name?
Depending on who says it, it sounds different.
I thought it was colon. I was like, they're not calling him colon, like a bowel. Like, this is awful. I had to put the subs on, and then I was like, oh, Cohen. No, okay.
Cohen. When Harper says it sounds Cohen. Like,
I thought she said Carwin or something.
Yeah, I think there's a sort of regional accent thing going on, but it is Cohen, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And we'll final answer. Now, when she's arrested, he's taken into care. Oh, look, Roo's back. What a coincidence.
And she's just had a conversation with Marilyn about how she's just signed up. She's phoned the department. She's back from Marimbula because her dad turned up and she went, oh, F this. I'm going back to the Bay.
And remember, we can't change that population figure on the board.
Exactly. It's too much work, doll. Sign writers died a long time ago. No one else in Marimbula can do it. So she has to, one in, one out, has to leave. And she just has that conversation with Maz where she's like, oh, I phoned the department and I told him I'm ready. And lo and behold, there's a child in need. A kid in need. I think that's what First Look said, that David helps a kid in need. And we were like, what does this mean? We thought he was doing a fun run dressed as a banana, didn't we?
Telethon. Yeah, that's right.
We were wrong, clearly. Yes, ours was much funnier. I'll be honest. Our version was much funnier. As is always.
Seems a sweet child. Very confused, very young compared to Eliza, who was quite mature for her age when you look at the stuff she was going on. Now, Roo, very funnily, is wrapping up the last of Eliza's things as they're sort of unraveling. Very symbolic of Roo sort of gaffer taping that music box away as she's moving on to the next one. And obviously he comes over. Good job he likes lasagna because it's all anyone cooks. It's
it's either that or the tofu salad, you know.
Well, hi, I'm Maz, the fun one. Speaking of, her and Roo are on the same page this time round. Feels nice and supportive, doesn't it? Maz is baking cupcakes, holding her hand. Yeah. You know, last time Roo wasn't really listening to her. Does this feel good to you? I think I said to you, didn't I, the other day when it went out? You know, when Roo answered the door and was taking him in and he was being introduced, it feels a right fit for Roo. So I said to you, why is she so bad at it? Is this a turning point?
I think she's so bad at it because she doesn't have a clue what she's doing yet. And I guess she's only had one. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because in long term, if you're a long-term fan and you've got a long-term memory of the show, you know that this isn't Roo's first rodeo, and you know that she's had dalliances with runaway kids and kids with difficult family circumstances, Maddie and that kind of thing. It's not the first time she's looked after a child.
No.
But then if you saw her just with Eliza, you would be like, why doesn't this woman ask for help? Why doesn't she ask for any information? Why doesn't she use her brain? So you'd think that she was very green and very naive, but we know that she's not. She's just, for some reason, she just lost her mind with Eliza, I think.
Yeah. In too deep. This feels different to me. What about you?
I hope so. I think I like the fact that we've had a proper introduction. We've seen this kid's mother. We've seen the backstory, which we didn't have with Eliza. Just turned up out of nowhere with no
story that was drip
context.
Fed. Yeah.
Whereas I think this has been good. We've seen his mum. We've seen what's happened. We've seen. I think Sarge has been really good in these scenes with Cohen. When he was trying to sort of take him to the station and keep him calm and reassure him and that kind of thing. I think he did. I don't really understand what they were doing with this whole thing, because he said to the mum, didn't he, like something like, I want you to just get arrested off screen, essentially, so that your child doesn't have to see you being cuffed and put in the back of a police car. So he kind of distracts the child while Samantha's getting put in the back of the car by that angry Tom guy that's got a real problem and a real chip on his shoulder. I don't know what that was about. He was hot, but he was angry for no reason. It annoyed me. But he was trying to shelter, in a way, Cohen, because he'd seemed quite a naive little kid. To not see his mum being cuffed and put in the back of a car. But then he took him to the station and he was like being all nice to him, getting something from the vending machine and like, oh, these are my favourite, have one of these, to kind of bond with him a little bit. But then he was there to see his mum get dragged in cuffs. And I thought that was really weird.
That happens quite a bit, though. That people, victims of, and the perpetrators end up meeting in the foyer of YCP. It really bugs me. It does bug me. They went to all, like you say, you went to all that effort for him not to see it, for her to then be hurled through.
Yeah, so we saw it anyway. Like
yeah.
worse because she's come in like shouting the odds and stuff.
Mm.
Really weird. But I did think the fact that Sarge was here, the fact that Sarge has bonded with him a little bit, he knows the backstory. He's the one that's dropped him off to Roo. He's the one that's spoken to Harper. You know, we've seen all the interactions from social worker to cop to
been good, hasn't it?
carer.
I agree.
Yeah. We've seen a bit more. Eliza just felt like someone had just turned up and dumped her and then gone, here you go, bye.
Yeah. Nut job. With no real care. Yeah. Do you know what I think as well? It softened Sarge Dave as well a bit.
Yes.
Because he's doing this. Because we later in the week find out that she wants to relinquish her parental rights. You know, she doesn't want anything to do with him, whether that's for his own good or not. Don't know. We don't really know the too much detail at the minute, do we? But it's a really heartbreaking thing, and Rue's toying about how to tell him, and he's asking questions. He wants to write the letter. We've got voiceover letter. You know, we got it all classic, didn't we, this week? And what I was thinking watching it all is Sarge tried really hard to try and find family. We saw all the interactions with, like you say, Harper, who's gone back to work already. Don't worry, she's not on the bill. She's not on the bill.
She's on your Sound the Bass, so we'll cover it later.
Cool. Perfect. You cover it, so I don't have to. But all I was thinking watching it was he has had to help two young little girls who have lost their mother as well at some point. So this is why he's invested in it. And to me, it softened him a little bit because I thought he's come at this from a place of experience of it's different circumstances, obviously, but you know, he had two girls who lost their mum and world fell apart, and he's been there before.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. I just think it really helped him as a character.
It did, and it humanized him. And I think the contrast between him when he turned up and he kind of he took over the situation, didn't he? He saw them because when we first saw Samantha, that cop was in her face. He was yelling at her, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, this is the kind of thing you see on social media when someone's filming a confrontation between someone and a cop, you know, and it escalates into something really bad.
Yeah,
you know, normally in America where these kind of things happen, but it had that kind of feel to it where I was like, this guy's got no sympathy for this woman at all, and this woman's she's living in a tent at the side of the road. Nobody chooses to do that. You know, situations happen, and you end up there. You don't choose to do it. You end up there.
Absolutely.
He had absolutely no sympathy. But then when obviously David Sarge turned up, and he kind of tried to de-escalate the situation, didn't he? And tried to sort of reassure her, like, you know, this is looking really bad for you, you know, so let's try and make the best of this. Let's try not to make this a really horrible thing for your son. You know, let's try and diffuse this a little bit. And I thought I started to sort of change my mind about him a little bit at that point, because I've been sus about him since he joined. You know, is he a good person? Is he covering up the accident? All of that went out of my mind when I saw him. I thought, yeah, actually he's been really good in this scene.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, and I thought this was important for him as much as Roo at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And he can read. Loves reading. We were can this one read?
I really thought it was going to be the class. You know, when they were talking this week, and he was like, "I need to find his birth certificate, find out if he's got a dad." And I was thinking, oh, what if he's not got a birth certificate? What if he's off the grid? What if she never registered him? What if she had him in the back of the car? What if he's never been to school? You know, he's never been socialized. I was saying to you, wasn't I? I was like, they normally come with like a severe learning difficulty. They can't read or whatever. Yeah. So I said to you, what's the bet? And he can't read. I was proven wrong. He's read 7 books at least.
I was tittering away when she was talking about reading his books. Oh, yeah.
But that makes me think, like, because he said, I love reading, and I used to spend a lot of time at the library, because we didn't have a home, so we used to hang out at the library and I used to read books. But he also said, my mum used to read to me when I was little, and I thought, this isn't a kid that's been dragged up. You know, this is a mum that's taken the time to put him to bed and read him a book. Not every kid gets that, you know.
No,
So
you're right.
this kid has had at some point that something's happened, and it's meant that she's had to change their lifestyle, to where they've ended up in the tent. But before that, it sounds like he's had a pretty stable, loving upbringing by somebody that's not dragged him up. It's like she's brought him up nicely. That's why he's a nice kid. So it's fascinating, isn't it? How did they get in this situation?
And it's like a role reversal because he's really worried about her. Is she getting looked after? He wants constant reassurance, doesn't it? So I feel like their relationship has been a little on its head when there's just been the two of them. And I wonder what it is the mental health there? Is that, you know what I mean? Like it could, at this junction, it could be anything, couldn't it? And it's all quite interesting.
It is, yeah. Because like you say, he's not worried about himself. And even in his letter to his mum, he said, I'm fine. I'm with somebody really nice. Don't worry about me. I'm just worried about you. Write me back. And what he said to Harper, I'm worried about her being lonely. Or did he say that to Roo? I can't remember. One of the two. He said, I'm worried about her being lonely. And I thought, this is a really nice kid here. He's not worried about himself. He's not crying for himself. He's worried about his mum and her welfare. And that's really mature for a kid of his age.
Complete opposite, like you say. We're always going to compare Eliza because this has come right on the bounce, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It would have been interesting if this was the first Foster storyline. It was the other way around.
Yeah.
What we would be thinking about Eliza.
True.
Just interesting to think, isn't it, really?
Mm.
Right. Remi's under the pump to have this bloody album finished, and we're all fed up with it, so this is going to be really quick. They're talking about duets. She's now friends with that one from the next door. And he puts his jacket on and remembers, I've got a bag of drugs in my pocket. Bit of the old party powder from the other week, because I'd forgotten all about it. I've slept since then, Dal. I was like, oh, yeah. And he's burning the candle at both ends. All the pressure's getting piled on. These deadlines are coming, aren't they? The launch is being moved. I've lost track of the launch. Is it now? Is it then? Is it here? Is it there? Don't know. It's changed that many times. We're all shocked, aren't we? He's not sleeping, and he's turned to it as a sort of way to get through the jobs, get it finished. Is this the start of something spiraling? I mean, he's looking at that bag like a baby looks at milk,
Yes. It's worrying because he's not shown, even though he's a muso, and he's been a muso for as long as we've known him, he's not shown any interest in the party drugs lifestyle before.
No, but this time he's got the cash.
Yes.
That's what worries me. He's able to buy it.
Yeah, so if he does get hooked on this, the first one's always free, just get hooked on this free bag to start with. And now she knows that he's got a bit of cash, because they had that conversation where Kirby was like, oh, he's bankrolling my album. And she was like, really? And I thought, don't tell her that, because now she's going to,
Now she knows he's in, quid's in.
Yeah, is she going to go after his money? Is she going to get him so hooked on drugs, like, she's the middleman, collecting the money for the drugs, and she's taking a bit on the side? I don't trust this girl still.
No, I think she's fake. I think this whole her and Kirby's fake. It feels really cringe because it's fake. I feel like, obviously, I think, and I think, like, she's signed to Forest record label. That was all fakeness, wasn't it? I am not. I think she is in with some bad people. I think she's out to make a buck. She's only going to look after herself.
Yes.
I think
Kirby's, I don't really get her agenda.
No.
Is her agenda the fact that she's got Kirby as a rival and she's trying to make Kirby's album, not sellable because she's going to make the producer go off the rails? Is it to do with Remi and the fact that he's in a committed relationship and he's, got a bit of money and she wants a bit of that and she's a bit bored?
Yeah, because what does she gaining from it? Like,
I don't know.
Anyone could play on a record. He's not, he's not the only person that can play a guitar.
Exactly. I don't really get her game. I don't know what her agenda is.
Yeah, I don't. She seems a bit pointless really to the story. Only that I can't really take any more of this music nonsense, right? But if it's going to be like a Remi on drugs, I might watch a bit more of it.
I feel really bad for him. I've genuinely felt really bad for Remi this week. I just think they've treated him like absolute crap.
Why don't you just pay for another producer to help him? I don't get it.
This is what I don't understand, Si. So first of all, these deadlines are all self-imposed. There is actually no urgency to get this album done by next week. Because it's her album. They are independently producing it. It's not a record label. There's no real deadline. They can decide when the album's ready is when it's ready. You know, they don't have to take 3 days a week, even a month to get it finished. And he's working on it, and it's his time, and they're not paying anybody. So, you know, the recording studio they had to pay for. That was the overhead. But Remi working on the album to produce it, it's not actually costing them anything because it's just his time, and he's not charging Kirby for that. You know, if they were paying a producer to do it and they'd only got a certain amount of money, they might have said, just do what you can in 3 days or do what you can in a week and just get it done. He's got all the time in the world because he's doing it himself. I don't get this deadline shit.
None of it makes any sense. It makes no sense. None of us actually give a crap, do we?
No.
Do you know what I mean? So all the best albums were all produced and mixed in 3 days, weren't they? All the memorable ones.
No, literally no.
All the best ones are like 10 years of blood, sweat, and tears out there, grifted.
And the deadline constantly moves. Like, all the albums I've got that are so good, you know, they'd say, like, you know, when you pre-order an album, especially nowadays.
Yeah, it delayed it. Yeah.
And then I actually ordered one recently that was supposed to come out in September, and I got an email yesterday. I completely forgot that I'd ordered it. Got an email yesterday saying it's not going to come out till 2026. Not even a month, just next year sometime. So I was like, fair enough, doll. You take your time, make it good. You know, give me a decent album. Yeah. I don't want one in 3 days.
No.
Who does?
Chat GPT in it.
Can you imagine? I think we should bring out Coastal News Greatest Hits soon, you know.
Let's do it.
All these songs that you've sang to me on the podcast, they need to go on an album.
I mean, somebody else probably owns the rights, but yeah.
It's fine. We can pay them. Remi will pay. It'll be good.
Yeah. We'll do it with all the Buy Me a Coffee donations.
All 2 of them. Yes, 2 coffees will cover all of it, I'm sure. Yes. Oh, dear. It's so funny, but it's... I'm kind of like laughing at the storyline. I'm kind of almost sort of face palming the TV as I'm watching this, but I do know that it's not really about the album. It's about making Remi stressed AF and getting him on the drugs. Yeah. And that's the storyline, isn't it? The album is not the storyline.
Yeah. And, you know, Nurse Barbie Brie girlfriend there's not going to approve of any of this.
Where is she? Knows. She's in Salt having a drink with Levi. You talking about his sex life.
Again, this is don't make me say it again. They never have scenes together.
No.
Supposed to be a couple. No. Been like this for 2 years.
Yeah.
Never have scenes together. It's insane. So, anyway.
Yeah. They did have one picnic on the beach for her dead dad's memorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was a few months ago now. Yeah.
But he's really stressed. He's taking coke. He's in the bedroom. She's none the wiser.
Yeah. Right, Si. It's that time again. Yes. Are you ready?
Ready for what?
Ready for your say on the bay.
My say on the bay? You're giving me a say this week.
Not really your say. You can have a bit of a say. Absolutely. I will let you. I'm going to
If you don't, I'll murder suicide as well.
We've had this conversation. We're not ready for that yet. It's fine. That's plan B, girl.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to read out some other people's says on the bay, and then we're going to discuss them and see how you feel, and you know whether we agree or disagree, which is always good. So to do that, I've obviously had to dig through social media, social meds, as JP would say, and read comments and reactions from people who've watched Home and Away in the UK this week, so that I can read them out to you. But a quick reminder before I start to do that, we are on social medias, aren't we? We are Coastal News Podcast Our handle is at Coastal News Pod, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, etc. Come and find us. And we also tweet along live while we watch the show, 6:30 till 7 p.m, Monday to Friday. Even when we're international, we're still tweeting along.
Even when we're international, if I don't forget the time. Yeah.
Even when we're abroad, we are tweeting along, and we talk to people on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, using the Home and Away UK hashtag. So jump on there, join the discussion. It's a good laugh. There's quite a good few people on there now. We've had some new people on there this week, which has been really fun.
Newbies.
New names. I'll read you out some new names later. Yes, so it's good fun. Get on there if you can. But if you can't do social medias and you can't join the tweet along, that's fine. You could email us. We have got an email address. It's coastalnewspod@gmail.com. coastalnewspod@gmail.com. And we have got an email address. An email address? We have got an email this week, from Jacob.
Oh, hello, Jacob. Blinking neck. Where have you been?
I was literally going to say that. We were talking, I think, was it last week or week before? I said to you, hey up, we've not heard from Jacob for ages.
Yeah, we were talking about. Yeah.
And I almost said to you, like, shall we email and just check in he's all right? Because we used to get a regular email from Jacob, and people that are regulars to the podcast will know Jacob and his emails. And I absolutely adore Jacob's emails. So I was feeling a bit sad last week. I was like, where is he? Why has he not emailed us? But
I've got a theory.
Oh, yeah.
I think he went up to the farmhouse on the bus.
On the bus once a day.
Yeah. To go and see Mac, you see.
Ah.
And then I think he missed the bus coming back. And all this time he's been MIA. He's been walking back to the bay.
With a bag full of ovulation kits.
Yeah, trying to get a hitch ride.
Oh.
Stranger danger and all that.
Yeah, and all that's past him is Tane in his car offering him a lift. And
did it even stop?
Not with you, doll. You only stopped for Joe. And damsels in distress,
Yeah, females.
Females. That makes me think of Friday night dinner. Have you got any females?
Jackie?
You look nice. Oh, I love that show. Anyway, moving on. But we have got an email from Jacob, and I'm so happy to hear this, even though he calls us chumps in his first line of his email address. Because his email starts chumps.
Oh.
Which I'm led to believe it is a nice insult.
Term of endearment.
Is it? Yeah, it's an insult, but it's a nice insult. He says, "Konnichiwa, chumps." He's obviously gone Japanese.
He's heard we're international now.
Oh yeah, we're not quite as international as Tane, though, are we? Let's face it.
No.
Konnichiwa to you, Jacob. Thank you for your email. Jacob says, hope yous are well. It's been a minute, but please forgive me. I've not missed a podcast, and here I am. Well, we were wondering. It's good to have you back. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Since when has Leah gone to the gym? Did she really coincidentally go to work out at the same time that Theo starts his rehab with the kidnapping, kung fu fighting Tane? It was a little bit.
Is it Karatane you are referring to?
Karatane, kung fu fighting Tane, Karatane. Yes, it was a little
bit of a
bit of a stretch that she decided she'd found her gym pass on the day that Theo had also got his rehab.
Yeah. Coincidence? I think not.
My eye, but anyway, yeah. Also, he says, how is he happy to just give away the Japan tickets? The gym must be making a killing. That's a good point. That's a good point. True. He just wanted to give them away to Dana, didn't he? Go take Dana, it's fine. He paid for the whole thing, hadn't he? So...
Yeah, or he bought the cheap fare, non-refundable.
He could have done that. Yeah, he could. Yes. Yeah, no worries. Jacob says, update. After weeks of talk about this stupid Japan trip, Harper decided she can't go on it. Like, WTF? I was hoping for a screen break for a while.
I think we all were.
Yeah, we didn't get that, did we? Oh, dear. Who's Tani going to take with him now? Joe? So I will explain that Jacob's email actually came in last week, but we didn't get a chance to read it out because we couldn't do a You Will Sail the Bay last week. So this was before we knew that he'd gone on his own and Joe is still in the Bay. But it's a good point. Like, I think Tane's gone on his own. He hasn't taken anybody else as far as we know, has he?
No, definitely no. But I think obviously reading between the lines there is Tane's new love interest could be Joe.
Yeah,
Like, are we
possibly.
thinking that's what's happening there? Because that whole ruckus on the road last week.
It's funny, isn't it? Because they've not crossed paths again since then. So I don't think she knows that he works in the surf club and that he owns the gym and that they
No,
will see
and
each
that
other again.
he's currently knee deep in sushi
Yeah, I don't think, and all that
and
she's
noodle.
met his baby this week. I don't think she knows because she
Yeah,
met Archie, didn't she, in the diner
that's true.
when she literally ran into Harper as she was running out, and then Dana was like, "I'm sorry about that. That's my sister, and she's got drama, and this is my nephew."
It's going to be quite interesting if there is a bit of a romance between them when the dots are connected. It's going to be quite interesting seeing that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'd actually forgotten about all this, so thank you for reminding us, Jacob. I'd actually had forgotten. Jacob says Dana asked Sunny for a bucket, no, a trough of coffee. So what does he order her? A double espresso. He could have at least have got her an Americano. Now, I don't drink coffee, but I know that an espresso is small, isn't it? And it's
Yes.
not a trough.
No, incredibly small, yes.
Yeah, so I guess is the strength rather than the trough, is it strength over volume is what I'm thinking. She wanted a trough of coffee, but actually would an espresso be more coffee than a trough of, I don't know,
most
latte
likely.
or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not
a trough of
drinker.
espresso shots would actually kill you.
Okay.
Would actually kill a small town. Yeah.
Oh dear, right. I won't start with that then if I ever venture into coffee. Okay, noted. Noted. I can't drink coffee. It makes my heart do weird things. I can't cope with it. Anyway, Jacob says, so I noticed the new Summer Base Sarge is played by Liam Neeson. Can we expect his daughter to be kidnapped and for him to use his very particular set of skills that he's acquired over a very long career, skills that make him a nightmare for people like them? Does he look like Liam? I'm a massive fan of Liam Neeson, and I don't think he looks like if he looked like Liam Neeson, I'd be licking the screen, but I'm not. I'll be honest.
If you squint and have a Malbec, maybe.
Maybe in 20 years.
He's a bit older. Like... Yeah. Well, I don't know if he is actually older, but he looks older. This guy.
He's not as old as Liam Neeson is 70.
I was gonna say
6, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I would have put him in his 60s, but is he that old?
I think he's the same age as my mum. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, Mum. Yeah, I think he's 76.
Blimey.
Apologies to my mother. I think she's near that ballpark figure. Yeah.
You look well for it, doll.
Oh God, she looks like she looks better than me. I'll be honest. Let's be honest. Yeah. But yeah, I think Liam Neeson is well into his 70s, whereas Sarge, I believe,
that shocks me.
He's probably 50. Is he older than Justin?
Yeah, but he's stressed. He's had a stressful life then.
He has had a bad life. That's yeah.
We're being awful now about someone's appearance. He doesn't look like Liam. Does he look like Liam Neeson? Everyone write in.
No, I don't think he does. I think he's too young. But anyway. But Jacob says he's such an arrogant tool, isn't he? And then he confirms that he means Sergeant Langham, not Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is not a tool, not an arrogant tool, but Sarge certainly is coming across like that. Up until this point, I think when Jacob watched this, I think this was pre-Cohen and all of that sort of stuff. So
pre-softening, yeah.
Yeah, so fair enough. Yeah, we all thought that last week as well. There was quite a lot of Your Sound the Bay the week before about Sarge and him. I think Jamie said he was a tool on the Your Sound the Bay a couple of weeks ago, so I can certainly understand that point of view. Jacob says also pretty cool that Home and Away could also afford to hire Gillian Anderson to play Joe at the same time as Liam Neeson. Soap and a half.
I don't see that.
I don't see that either. I don't see the Liam Neeson.
Jacob, what you watching? The
Gillian Anderson. Are you watching on the dodgy link, Jacob, where it's all a bit fuzzy and you can't really see the characters very well? Maybe you are.
Send us the pics. Email us the pics, Jacob. Let me examine.
We need a side-by-side meme, I think. Yeah, definitely.
That's your homework.
Jacob says, out of all the 12 cops that now suddenly work at Summer Bay, YCPD, he's put Summer Bay PD, but it's YCPD, isn't it? There are quite a lot of cops there, I will admit.
But there was the big merger.
Yeah, that's true.
We've had the big mangrove merger.
Mango, as people say. Mango River. Yes. But it says out of all the 12 cops that suddenly worked there, it had to be Cash that walked in during the Langham sister fight, didn't it?
Yes. Plot, Dal. Plot.
He had to be the one to arrest the Langham sisters, definitely. Yeah. Couldn't be one of these Tom newbie guys. No. Dear. He says, as always, the Kirby storyline sucks. And where has this Babylon appeared from? It's kind of stupid. I'm going to have to talk to you about Avalon later because nobody is calling her Avalon. This poor girl.
Really?
Nobody is calling her by her real name, and I've got some corkers to tell you later.
By the rivers of Babylon,
where she wrote a song with Kirby, but it didn't really happen. Yeah, Babylon. Where's Babylon come from? It's kind of stupid. And while Justin is involved in deciding what order the songs are going in, his garage remains closed yet again. Oh, dear me. Yeah.
We got no choice but to get a pedicure.
Yeah, definitely. Jacob also says, are we to assume Marley is about to give up his space in the surf club to allow someone else to help raise the vibe? Maybe Remi can buy it to sell all of his merch. He could name it Summer Bay Vibes. Oh dear.
It's very creative.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Better
I mean, we know now that Lacey works there, so this was obviously the week before.
Yeah.
But I was also Summer Bay Vibes. I was also thinking that space was up for grabs. I'll be honest. This time last week, I was convinced Marley
said
was going to
that.
be.
Yeah, you did say it. Yeah.
I was on the same page as you, Jacob, but obviously we were proven wrong this week, and he's got a helper for now. But yeah. Thank you for your email, Jacob. It's so good to hear from you.
Nice to hear from you.
You have no idea how happy I was when Sai told me this email had dropped this week. So I was just like, he's alive.
You really cheered us up. Thank you.
Did. Thank you. Appreciated that. Right. Should we go to social medias?
Do it. Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So the first topic I've got for discussion is Sarge. Now,
yes.
Everyone's talking about Sarge, but in connection with hooking him up with somebody in the bed.
Is it Marilyn?
Well, there's a couple of contenders, actually. So Lady Popcorn, who is new to the tweet-along. Hello, Lady Popcorn.
Hi, Lady Popcorn. Welcome.
Lady Popcorn says, what's the betting that Marilyn will end up with the copper?
There was something, when they were introduced, there was a little bit of just a slightly long linger. I saw it too, Lady Popcorn.
Well, he's only human. He's only human.
I know, and it's about flipping time, I'll say.
Well, I don't know. Some people are saying Marilyn, but other people have different ideas. So Jamie says Roo and David need to become a thing.
I don't know about that. Have I missed something?
Well, it was that scene. Do you remember she went down to the cop shop and Sarge was there? And he said something to her like, oh, why did you become a foster carer? And she said, oh, it's probably because I'm a bleeding heart, like my dad says, blah, 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 blah. And he says something like, well, we need good people. We need people that will be foster carers, people like you. We need you to do this job. It's really important. And she said, why did you become a copper? Was it for the same reasons? And he said, oh, no, it's because I thought I'd look good in the uniform. And she just laughed at that.
Oh, so a bit of banter. Okay.
Yeah. And then she said, because he kept calling her Ruth, and then she said to him, "My friends call me Roo."
Friends call me Roo. Okay, yeah, I accept it. I remember the scene now. Okay,
yeah. So people are thinking both. So he's had a scene with Marilyn. He's had a scene with Roo.
Oh
and
no!
People are split.
Are Roo and Maz going to be arguing over the man?
If they are, can I be brutally honest? If it gets to a point where he has to choose between Roo and Maz, obviously he'd be mad to not pick Maz because I think she's absolutely knockout and she's a really nice person. She's not a bitch at all. But because I'm not completely sold on Copper Sarge at the moment, and I don't think he's potentially not 100% nice.
Yeah, he's a bit. Yeah,
there's a bit of a question mark over him. I'd rather he go out with Roo. I think he's he's okay. He'll do for Roo.
Yeah,
But for Marilyn, I think she's a bit too good for him right now.
Yeah, fair enough. You've explained yourself well, Dal.
How do you feel? Which one would you go for out of the two?
You've convinced me to switch to Roo just by what you've just said.
Yeah, I'm just not sure he's 100%.
No, and Lacey
nice.
said like, "Oh, he'll bend the rules to suit himself." We don't know what's gone on with the wife.
Exactly.
And whether he's responsible, do we? Yeah.
There's too many questions, and if he's not nice, I don't want that for Marilyn, you know. But I'd be happy for her. I'd be happy for Roo to take a bit, you know.
Yeah.
She can have him.
Yeah.
If he's not perfect, Roo can have him.
Sounds good to me.
And I know that sounds horrible because it is horrible because I don't like her. But anyway, moving on. I think other people are starting to warm up to Sarge though.
Right.
Because there's been a couple of tweets this week and a couple of people on Facebook saying that, you know, they're starting to like him. So Krankenwagen Victoria on Twitter says, I like the new Sarge. He's firm, but he's fair.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
This is, as I say, this week he has softened. I think this Cohen storyline has really helped that.
Yes, definitely. And then that'll bring him closer to Roo, which I think is where people are going with the Roo.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Definitely. Prithee on Facebook says, terrific work. All Jeremy was doing here was class. So, yeah, Jeremy's obviously the actor that plays Sarge. So, calling him class. So, yeah, people are starting to... There was a couple of weeks ago where I was reading sort of the initial reactions to Sarge, and although everyone was kind of like, oh, it's Dylan Carter, and therefore he's dodgy, I think this week he started to turn a corner with people. So
fickle bunch, aren't we? Fickle bunch.
Yes. Although, you know, the elephant in the room, really, the reason why people are saying, you know, should he date Roo or should he date Maz? Katie on Twitter says, almost all the older characters are single and it's a bit unrealistic. Now that's the elephant in the room, isn't it? We're hooking him up with people because they don't have a partner. Is it unrealistic to be single, have this many single older characters on a show?
It probably is, to be honest with you. I mean, Alf's married, isn't he?
He is, but unrealistically, he lives 6 million miles away from his wife.
That is an unrealistic situation. They're not that old, these people. They should still be able to fulfill a dating life, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
In their 50s. I mean,
what happened to Smolder?
Smolder.
What happened to Smolder?
Got a bad rep, hasn't it, Smolder? After Suze.
That's true. Yeah, Tinder swindler. Yeah, true.
But yeah, it would be nice to see some of these sort of, you know, 50 plus characters date.
Yeah.
You know, because that is a realistic. You don't want, in your 50s, people don't want to be lonely. No. Some people do, and that's a really empowering story. But also that finding love in your later years is also an interesting story.
It is. Yeah. I just don't know whether it's necessarily dating that I'd want to see. I think Marilyn and Roo need a good night out, I'll be honest. Even as a girls' night out. They don't really do anything fun. They go to work and they stress about the house and the bait shop. And
those type of characters on this show, though, play a role that means that they just facilitate the younger cast.
They do,
and it's an important role to fill. But that is their role now at that age.
Yeah, it's just it's a bit sad that they've got nothing. You know, they don't necessarily need a man. They just need something else that's not a job.
Yeah. And I still stand by Maz has had a lot of going on the last few years.
Yes. Yeah, she has. Not all of it good though.
No, it would be nice for her to have some happiness.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And Roo, to be fair.
Roo, yeah. I mean, I think the fostering could be the making of Roo. I was hoping the Eliza stuff was going to be the redemption of Roo. Maybe Cohen will be. Who knows? Don't know. It's looking okay so far, isn't it? So
I've got a good feeling, but it's very early days. So
it is. Let's see what other people think of Cohen, actually. So Sam says, freaking love Maz, loyal as the day is long. After all the guff she got from Judgy Judgy Roo Roo, and she's still there supporting her. But I loved the side of Judgy Judgy Roo Roo with the little lad, Cohen. So, yeah, people are softening to Roo over the Cohen storyline, actually.
That's good. Because we wanted the redemption. Maybe this is it, Sophie. Maybe it's just a bit late.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe we needed and maybe we'll feel more sorry for her because the Eliza thing went so badly, and maybe the Cohen thing will go so well.
And maybe, just maybe, she's learned from the Eliza stuff. Maybe she handles things
Bloody
a bit.
hope so. She can't do a worse job. Let's face it. Oh dear. Anyway, she's got the model child now, hasn't she? So she can't F this up, surely. Nina's been looking at the old tea leaves and the crystal ball because Nina says, I can see attachment issues with Roo and the new foster child. There's going to be tears.
Yeah.
Because Dave is trying to find the family, isn't he? He's trying to find him someone to live with that's not just a
what if he
temporary
finds
foster care.
someone?
Yeah, how's she going to feel? Is she going to cope with the fact that she's just bonded with this child and now he's gone again? It's a good point, actually, Nina.
Oh dear.
I know. Mr. David says, Roo, while it's admirable that you've become a foster carer, when was the last time you called your actual daughter?
Don't set me off.
The elephant in the room. I know, I read this one out specifically so that you would kick off. What about Martha Junior? Yes, we've had many a conversation about this, haven't we?
She's got to put things right there at some point in her life. When's it going to be?
I don't know. I mean, Martha's on the run, so it makes it all a bit awkward, but yeah, at some point you'd expect it to happen, wouldn't you? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes. But Mr. David says, I love that fostering is back on Home and Away.
Yes.
Fostering's back again, even though it's only just gone, it's back again. Victoria Guess who's back 2 weeks later. Victoria Krankenwagen says, or another young lad for Mr. Stewart to mentor. This is what Home and Away is all about. Yeah, so lots of people are excited about fostering, although not everybody is excited. There are some people that are a bit more cautious about another fostering storyline happening so fast after the last one, because we can't forget, we have long memories.
Understandably, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So Sue on Facebook says, don't take him to Roo, she's got no clue. She's a poet and she didn't know it. Julie
Linny
on
for
Facebook...
the Winnie.
Linny for the Winnie. Oh no, cringing. Julie on Facebook says, I hope this foster kid won't end up being horrible and evil. Don't mince your words, Julie.
Well, he can read a book, so...
He can. I think he's, so far, showing some promise, this kid. I think he's not a bad lad.
All his clothes are ripped at the collar to make him look dishevelled, bless.
Ah, dirty, yes. Yeah, definitely. Sarah on Twitter says, interesting how the introduction of Cohen is so different from Eliza. Maybe people would have had more sympathy for her if they knew her background. Where was Sarge then? That's a good point, isn't it? It's like I was saying earlier, wasn't I, about how the introduction has been nicer because we've seen the backstory, we've seen his mum.
Things, yeah. Did we fail Eliza in the Bay?
Maybe, yeah.
Did for all the problems, was she failed by us?
I mean, we've had social worker, haven't we? Like literally, Harper's stopped her maternity leave to come back and be Cohen's social worker. We never had a social worker scene with Eliza, apart from when Harper got involved because Roo found a knife, and Harper was on maternity leave at this point. So where was her real social worker? From the outset, where was that? It was missing. Whereas we've got this from the beginning on this one. It feels like not only Roo has learned, it feels like the writers have learned.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an interesting one because we're talking about Eliza. Regular listeners will know Jack. Jack's been on the podcast a couple of times. He's been on for You'll Say in the Bay and various other things, giving his opinion on Home and Away. He's also a really, really good chap because he watches at Oz pace and he doesn't like to give us spoilers, and he's very, very considerate of the fact that we are not at the same pace. So we don't often hear from
He's
Jack
always great with it. Yeah.
He's really good at this because he doesn't like to sort of tweet anything at us and spoil it for us. So, we don't hear from it often on Your Said the Bay, but because the Eliza stuff has come up this week in sort of comparison to the Cohen storyline, Jack did actually get in touch with us on Twitter this week and said, "Can I have a rant about the Eliza debacle, please?" And I think yes, Jack, you've waited your turn, so we're gonna include you on this week's Your Send the Bay. So Jack says, "I didn't because I didn't want to risk any spoilers for you, but I can talk about it now. Bless you for this. Not only did we get no answers about the contents of that music box when she left the city, but she also went to the city in a car with the woman whose baby birth she filmed and the woman who she said was the worse fosterer than all of the rest of them. She then left the music box behind, the one possession that she actually had. Seriously."
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good point, Jack. Actually, all of that is a good. She was dragged out of the bay by the person that she said was the worst foster carer of all, and the person that she filmed almost die on camera, and then she left behind her only possessions, even though they were creepy and whatever. That was the only thing she owned when she turned up to Roo's house, and she left it. It is a good point, Jack. So,
yes, very well spotted. And yes, it's frustrating. The end of that was insanely frustrating. And both hemispheres, we've all felt the same.
It. Yeah, I think we have. Yes. So yeah, thank you, Jack. I hope you feel better for getting that off your chest as well. It feels like you've been waiting to say that for a while. But yeah, appreciate that. Right, let's talk about Avalon. Or as Jacob called her earlier in You'll Send the Bay, Babylon. But what is this girl's name? Because nobody's calling her by her real name.
Babylon.
Shall I tell you some other names that she's been called? This
whilst I sing Boney M.
So Julie, this really made me laugh. Julie says, "What's going on with Kirby? Suddenly she's best mates with the Kraken." Really made me laugh. This poor girl. Avalon, Babylon, the Kraken. Tweety Tie also says, "Did I miss an episode? Why is Kirby being nice to Anaconda?" Is it just me or is this hilarious?
No, it's not just you. But you and I are on the same level, so I don't know. Might just be us.
I don't know which name I like the most. The Kraken really made me laugh out loud.
But Anaconda don't want none unless she got buns, hun.
Yeah, Anaconda's good as well. Yeah, I really like that. Tweety Tie, who's now calling her Anaconda, also says, "So Kirby only wants to be friends when she can get something out of it."
Yeah, well, that's true.
I'll be honest. I'm not opposed to that because I kind of suggested that on a couple of weeks ago on the pod, and I was like, Kirby's not being smart here. Yes, they're enemies. Yes, they're meant to be rivals, etc. But if she really wants a career, jump on this girl's coattails immediately.
Yeah, boring though, isn't it? Boring.
It is boring. Yeah, it is. And talking of boring, Mo tweeted to say, "I'm sick of the whole music storyline. I have to fast forward through it."
Mo, I'm getting there. Mo's where I was with Chloe. Those were good days, weren't they?
I remember Chloe. You'd be like, "Right, you tell me what happened with Chloe," and I'd be like, "Oh God, here we go." Was I watching it? I don't know. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I love the fact that she's got like 5 names. It's brilliant. Not a real name. So good. The Kraken. That absolutely killed me. What about Remi though? Remi, talking of the Kraken and Anaconda, let's go on to Remi because it's related. So Nina has tweeted and she's got one thing to say about Remi and his potential drug habit that's looming over him. And she says, "Bye-bye, trust fund."
Well, haven't we said he can't keep this money forever? Because it's not a good story. It's the first thing I thought as well, I must say.
There's 2 potential things here, isn't there? Either he's going to put the whole trust fund up his nose, or the Kraken, Anaconda, whatever you want to call it, is going to take this money because she's found out this week that he's loaded.
Yeah. And she's obviously got contacts with some not nice people.
Yes, yeah.
Exactly. So, yes, we're heading into something quite interesting, which is why I included. Otherwise, none of this would have been included in the podcast. So
I've only got a few more tweets about Remi to go, so don't worry, it's not going on forever. Julie says poor Remi is going to have a nervous breakdown. Yeah, exactly.
Poor Remi on his coke at 2:00 in the afternoon.
I know. Well, it's
we're
weird,
sat on
isn't
£1 million in the bank. The poor thing.
I do feel bad for him this week, I will be honest, because I don't think he's helped himself, absolutely not, but I do feel bad for him. He has been pulled. It was ridiculous because, you know, Justin was saying, I've booked a venue for the album launch. It's in exactly a week. Can you get the album done by then? And he was like, no, of course I can't. And then they finished the whole studio thing. They've recorded everything. And then Kirby's like, oh, I want to put another song on the record. I want to put a duet on the record. Have you written it? No, we've got to write it. So you've got to write a song, go back into the studio, record it, then produce it, all within a week. It's ridiculous. The amount of pressure on this guy already was ridiculous. But why didn't he say rack off? Why didn't he tell Noel to get lost? It's his money.
I know.
I didn't get it. Jamie didn't get it either. Jamie said, I wonder why Remi isn't paying someone else to help him instead of doing all this off his own back.
I said that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And Jamie also says, do these clowns want to kill Remi? Selfish and horrible. Justin, Kirby and Avalon can all get in the sea.
Yes.
Pretty stern
Justin
words.
Justin
as well, because he's putting pressure on Remi. Can you do it in a week? I've booked the venue. Can you get the album done by a week today? Why the urgency? There's no urgency for this. It's all being produced independently. There's no record company breathing down their neck. It's all their deadlines that they're putting on themselves. It's ridiculous. I agree with all these people. And yeah, definitely. Talking of annoying, though, shall we talk about Harper briefly? Because we didn't talk about her on the main ep, but a few people have tweeted about her, so I feel like we can't ignore the elephant in the room.
About her going back to work and being upset that Tane went to Japan without her.
Yeah, pretty much. Shall we see what people thought about this?
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. David, first of all, says, Harper really is gunning for the Bay's most unlikable resident, isn't she?
Yeah, and I'm not being... do you know what, as well? Her baby should be taken into Roo's care.
Well, yes.
If you ask me.
She's
done nothing but
weird.
palm it off.
She did say something weird this week where she said she was talking about Cohen and she said, this is the part of my job that I really like, where I get to look after, confused, neglected, vulnerable children. And I thought, like your 2-month-old that you've palmed off to daycare.
Yeah. Anyway, got to go and pick him up.
It's so weird. I did actually look this up because she gave birth to Archie at the end of May.
Right.
And it's now coming towards the end of July. This baby is 2 months old.
2 months old. 2 months old and it's in daycare all day. You're joking.
It should be it should still be on breast milk, shouldn't it, at this point? I'd have thought. I don't know.
I bet poor thing doesn't know who its mother is.
Exactly. Yeah. I did get a message from Tamsin, so a friend of the podcast. People may know Tamsin. She's been on our podcast a few times. We've been on her podcast a few times as well. Hello, Tamsin. From Pop Goes the Tam Tam podcast. Tamsin messaged me directly because we're friends on Instagram to let me know that she changed her thoughts on Harper. And she said, I was prepared to give Harper the benefit of the doubt, but she's really not interested in Archie at all, is she? And then she said she cut her maternity leave short because she didn't want to think about herself anymore. It's wild. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. You were right about Harper. Now I've never been so unhappy to be right about anything in my life.
Now we know why she said that directly to you, because Tamsin was sort of softening to Harper with me. As we went along, she was sympathetic. Me and her were on the sort of similar trajectory with Harper. As time went on, we got on with her.
Whereas I never did. I never moved. Yes.
Your cards were marked, weren't they?
Yeah.
So that's interesting that she said that to you.
I feel really bad because she went out of her way to message me directly and say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I doubted you. You were right. And although I like being right, I was like, I don't like this. I feel bad.
I know. Thanks for getting
bad.
in touch once again, Tamsin.
Thank
because,
you.
yeah, you've got to call a spade, haven't you?
I know. It's one of those situations where I don't enjoy being right because it's such an awful, horrible thing that I'm right about. And it doesn't feel good, I'll be honest. But there we go. It doesn't feel good. Because my whole thing is that she didn't want to be a mum, you know?
Yeah, you've said it so you're blue in the face, haven't you, girlie?
Yeah, and I don't. It's not nice being right about that because it's the baby's here and there's a whole life in the babe that needs a mum, and it's just it's all a bit
Yeah.
Awkward. I know it's fictional. I'll get over it. It's fine. It's not a real abandoned, neglected child. It's fine. So Jamie says, Harper back at work already. Anything to stay away from her new baby.
Yep.
True.
It's a common theme.
Yeah.
People are picking up on it now, aren't they?
Even there was a little look. Do you remember when Harper went round to the Summer Bay house this week to see Cohen and Roo and introduce herself to Cohen? And I think when she walked in the room, Maz said, "Oh, Archie," and she said, "Oh no, he's not here. I'm here in an official capacity, and don't worry, he's being well looked after. He's in daycare." Did you see the look that Roo gave Marilyn?
Yeah, I did. I did clock it.
There was a judgy Roo moment there.
There was.
I was on her side.
I know. That's the first time we've also been judgy with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
That felt icky for me.
Actually, yeah, it was a weird position to be in as a viewer.
It was.
Maybe that's where we're going with Harper next. And I think that's quite a fascinating story because a lot of mums find themselves mums when they don't want to be. She accidentally found herself in this predicament. Yeah, could be an interesting storyline. That
could be. Yeah, definitely. I did feel a bit icky that I shared Roo's judgy. I was like, oh,
I know. It doesn't feel right, does it? Goes against your gut.
It does. I did check myself. I was like, but she's right. I agree.
Yeah.
Oh no, I feel bad. Anyway, Mr. David says, for a social worker, Harper is not exactly Mother of the Year.
True that.
We're all seeing it. We're all saying it. I actually do feel a little bit vindicated that you're all now on my page, but I also don't feel well that I agree with Roo. I'm a bit torn with this. Oh, I feel a bit sick. But anyway. What about Japan? Japan Gate.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Tweety Tie says, of course he should still go. Why let his ticket go to waste? He was more than happy to let you take Dana, and now you want to locate common sense? Nonsense, girl. Yeah.
I mean, this all could have been solved by giving Blazer Guy a bell.
Don't let that go. Hasn't he got like a crim record? How is he even allowed to leave the country? I don't
his passport was took off him at one point.
He kidnapped a baby not that long ago. How has this guy got a visa? Anyway,
hang on a minute. Yeah, he's kidnapped a baby. Just narrowly avoided jail time for it. He then has a baby with a social worker and he's not in the system.
How has this guy got a visa? Seriously, I don't know. Oh dear. They turned up with a bag of cash on the first day of his employment on the bay, but there we go. Who knows? Very strange. Emma Gravy Monster says, I'm not a fan of Tane, never have been, but he is absolutely in the right on this occasion. Did she actually expect him to simply let the holiday go to waste? Please refer to Ross and Rachel and his honeymoon. Yes, so Ross said the wrong name, didn't he, on his wedding day?
Rachel went on the plane, didn't she?
She did, because do you remember he was meant to marry Emily, and he said, I take thee Rachel at the altar, and then Emily said that she didn't want to marry him anymore, and they split up. So then he was like, well, I've already paid for the honeymoon. And Rachel was in the airport and she was meant to be flying home to New York, but her plane was delayed or something. And he just said, well, I've got a spare ticket for where were they going? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Anyway, can't remember. But then halfway through his honeymoon, he ditched Rachel, didn't he? And went home. Because the whole thing was that she ended up there in the honeymoon suite on her own. And she was fuming.
Yeah.
But she did go on his honeymoon
She did. His ex, who he was actually in love with.
Yeah. Awkward. But
awkward.
it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to just throw down the pan.
It is, but also you've got Sophie, you've got a 2-month-old.
Yes, I know. It's ridiculous.
And it's Japan.
And he's a Crim.
Not nipping to Iceland for a pint of milk.
I was going to say, you mean Iceland the supermarket, not Iceland the country.
Yes, frozen pizzas.
Yes, yeah, Goodfellas or whatever. Yeah, Chicago town. Yes. Yeah, all a bit dodgy. Jamie says, shut up, Harper. You literally dropped that on him while he was at the airport. Arrogant clown. Why would Tane not go to Japan without you? You'd think he wouldn't go just because you bailed at the last minute, ? Yeah.
Yeah. She thinks she's more important to him than she is.
She said some weird things this week that didn't sit right with me. She said things like, "Oh, he hung up on me. You don't hang up on the mother of your child. You don't do this to the mother of your child." And I thought, you've elevated your place in his life by having a baby with him, which makes me feel uncomfortable. It's like she almost expects him to, even though they're not a couple, she still expects special treatment because she's the mother of his child, and that sat wrongly with me.
Yeah.
Because you can disagree with someone that you've had a child with, and you can not be on the same page as someone that you've had a child with, and you don't have to give them special treatment.
Certainly don't have to be at the beck and call answering their calls in one ring.
Because he doesn't know whether it's about the child, If it was about Archie, I'm sure he would drop everything in a minute and come running. But it was just her attitude about, it's me. I'm the one that he should be.
That's the crux, isn't it? That's what's made him go. Her attitude on the phone.
Yes. Yeah.
He's thinking, fuck her.
Yeah. She's not helping herself again.
No, she's not. Yeah.
And it's not even like she's putting herself in she's saying me, me, me. It's not about Archie, it's about her.
Yeah. Like you say, this is what it always has been about.
Yeah. It's Walks. It's mega Walks. Mr. Davis says, Girlie doesn't know how expensive plane tickets are, does she?
Clearly not.
Clearly not. Clearly not. And then the last topic I've got to talk about this week is Dana and Joe and that job saga. So I'm going to read you out a few things about this as well. So Emma Gravy Monster says, Dana's mood really changes faster than the wind.
Well, I did this week.
I was surprised by her this week. Yeah. I was surprised. Julie says, why is she being like this? Sonny is copping the lot.
Yeah. I think we said in the main, didn't we, that he had to cop it and react the way he did for us to really understand that these two are good.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's a shame that we had to see this side of Dana, but it's obviously brought them a bit closer together, which is good.
Yeah.
And it invests us in their coupling.
Of course it does. Yeah.
But Julie goes on to say, why is Dana going off on one? She knew she didn't have the relevant experience. Yeah, she was
I think she'll
aware.
calm down. Yeah, I think she'll calm down.
I don't think she's ever heard the word no, possibly. And
possibly, yeah.
You know when you're young and you kind of think you're invincible, and she really did think that I know Levi and he loves me, and she really did think that was enough to get a job. And actually, in the real world, it's not. If someone's better than you, if someone's more qualified than you, it doesn't matter how nice you are.
It's all about the credentials. Yeah. Of course it is.
Yeah, and that's a real life experience, and hopefully she'll learn from it and grow from it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's a good way of saying
it. Sam said the whole job thing gave me secondhand embarrassment.
Yeah, it was a bit.
It was a bit
where do I put my face?
A bit cringe. Yeah. Mr. David is thinking a bit like us. Of course, Joe is a nurse. Of course she is. Why does nobody push envelopes around in Summer Bay? Why couldn't she work in HR? No, she's a nurse. Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was a bit. We mentioned it ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah, it is a bit like that. You do have to kind of jetty it, I think, with Home and Away sometimes. There are certain jobs that are available in the Bay, and other jobs just don't seem to matter or exist.
Nurses or bartenders, that's your lot.
Yeah, nurses, bartenders, and surf instructors. We've got plenty of them. But male men and women and I don't know, other jobs. Felicity, not the Felicity on Facebook, is going to have the last say on the Bay this week.
Yeah.
In agreement with what Mr. Davis just said, basically, Felicity says no accountants, no lawyers, entrepreneurs, just jobs that fit the film sets of the hospital, the surf club, and the garage. Roll the eye emoji.
Actually, I'm going to challenge her, and I'm going to say there is an entrepreneur, Marley, but he just wants to work at home. He can't be arsed.
He just wants to listen to the radio in the shed. Yeah. Not very entrepreneurial, I'll be honest.
No, so there we go.
He's literally shutting down the side of his business that actually makes decent money in favour of living in the shed. So
the sign says gone surfing, and I ain't lying.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News wherever you source your podcasts, and ensure you never miss an episode.